So I want to go back to a point that I made in an earlier video about how to get more communication by being unpopular. And this one is the same book, Dataclysm by Christian Rudder, same chapter, Death by a Thousand Myths. And in there, there's a different point there. There's something I wanted to pull out of that, which is that he talks about how so-called imperfection, just meaning traits you have that aren't those kind of cookie cutter traits, are actually part of what makes you beautiful. And there's evidence for this. And he talks about how Cindy Crawford, for example, it was after she stopped hiding her mole that she rose to popularity. So that happens with a lot of models, is they have some kind of trait that is not the cookie cutter thing. So it's interesting that the top models, the supermodels, Tyra Banks with her large forehead, let's say, people like that, it's considered more beautiful to not have the symmetrical quality. Or somebody that won America's Next Top Model was a girl who had hunched shoulders and kind of an asymmetrical look. And it was because she knew how to be in that. She wasn't resisting what she was. She wasn't resisting her imperfection. And so because she was so at home in it, it made her beautiful. And so just something to think about in the context of relationships. Traits that are not inside the cookie cutter actually make you feel more approachable, more beautiful, more desirable, because that endears you to people. And they feel like they can get to know you, and it's more real. They could live with you, that kind of a thing. Now, one thing that I really like this illustration to kind of counter that, and what being enticed by perfection can do to you, it actually has the opposite effect. So images that are perfect actually drive you away from intimacy. And this is The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen, the original one that, yes, the Disney Frozen was based on this, but it has a different point in the original. It's about a little boy and a little girl who deeply love each other. They're best friends. And then the little boy gets this magical shard of glass stuck in his eye and in his heart, which causes him to feel hatred. And it causes him also to see people very distorted. And because he's so vulnerable like that, the Snow Queen comes and entices him away to her castle, which is built of those perfect crystals. Yes, like Elsa, but this is an evil queen. So he's so fixated and enthralled with the perfection and the symmetrical qualities of the snow crystals that he forgets about people. He's just intoxicated, and all he can do all day is just to sit there and stare at these things and be surrounded by that beauty. So he forgets that he can love and that he can have relationship. So the little girl comes and rescues him. So just something like that to consider is when you're thinking about images, either when you're putting them online or you're thinking about, I have to be this beautiful thing. Beauty really does come from a different place than symmetrical. Real beauty is really about owning what you are, owning your design, completely just being in agreement with your design. And that is what draws people to you in the context of relationship. So if you live somewhere where it's snowing, just consider coming out to California, because we don't have snow, and that's why, we're keeping it real. We're having relationships out here. Come and join us. I hope you enjoy your holiday season. Happy holidays.